And welcome to another edition of the Durham Bulls Podcast, which is where our Durham Bulls fans know where to go to follow all the characters and the great celebrities that make up the history of Durham Bulls baseball. Patrick Keene is here, and we've had some great guests on the podcast over the last 3 or 4 months, from Charlie Montoyo to Bill Evers to current big leaguers Ryan Stanek, Miles Mastrobuoni, even Jim Morris, the rookie, joined us a couple months ago. Today, though, we're taking it to a brand new galaxy as we welcome in one of the absolute legends of Durham Bulls baseball and one of the greats in Major League Baseball, former Durham Bull, Andruw Jones. And Andrew, first off, welcome to the podcast. Don't be nervous, all right?
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Well, so first off, welcome back to Durham. And for the fans who are just getting an understanding on why you're back in Durham, explain why you're here today and why you're coming back in a couple of weeks.
We're here to promote the Home Run Derby X that MLB alumni and all the office wanted to do something to give back to the fans. So here promoted it, and we're gonna do it in 5 different cities. I'm gonna be doing here in Durham and one in Nashville. So I think they got a couple 3 other places that I don't know by my head where they're gonna be at, but I'm gonna be doing those. So I'm here to promote that, and happy to be back in an old familiar ballpark that changed a lot. But happy to be here.
What kind of training are you doing physically? I mean, when's the last time you picked up a bat and swung for the fences?
I got my bat ship in, so I swing it, don't hit. I swing it probably in the house, probably twice. Didn't hit no balls. I just, air swing just to see if the body will connect. I think I'm gonna start doing, going to the gym. I really don't like to go to the gym because I did it my whole life going to the gym. I really was not like to go to the gym. I just would go out there and play. I think playing was my gym. Running around, diving around, and swinging the bat, that wasn't my gym. But, I'm, doing some walking. I think I'm going to start doing, get ready to work out, next month, and get ready for the Home Run Derby X.
I know. I mean, our fans can't wait to see it. September 7th here at the DBAP. Head to durhambulls.com for all the details. You'll see Andrew, and you'll see a lot of other spectacular big names yet to be announced, but they'll be competing alongside Andrew for the prizes here in Durham. So you mentioned it's the first time you come through Durham in a few years, but let's go back to when you played with the Durham Bulls back in 1996. You've just now walked into the same stadium, but it's been, by my math, almost 28 to 30 years since you've been back.
I think maybe 30. I think, I don't know.
How does that hit you today when you came back to this ballpark you haven't seen in almost 3 decades?
I mean, like I say, everything changed. They changed the side of the dugout. That was one thing I saw. I saw the batting cage that you can see from the street. All these buildings, all these offices. I like it. I wish I could have played it when it was like this, to be honest with you. It would have been more fun. I think, the memories from here, it just go way back. I think everything for me, for a long career that I had through Major League started here. When the Braves got me, assigned me to come here to start High A when they were High A here first. And, trying to win a championship here, and then made it all the way to the Major League and all the way to the World Series that year.
Yeah. So let's go back in time a little bit, because I don't hear many stories about how the Braves saw you, why the Braves then signed you, because we were talking back in 1993 when the Braves made a huge splash in the international signing market. Damian Moss, Glenn Williams, many others, that same year, 1993. Yeah. How did the Braves locate you, and what was the story behind signing that contract with Atlanta?
Well, I mean, obviously the Braves were on TV for a while. I mean, Ted Turner did a great job putting it on regular cable that, anybody can watch, and obviously they were a good team, very competitive, making it to the playoff, every year, or winning the division every year. We had a couple guys that had signed with the Braves through the minor league before. We had a scout down there, his name of Giovanni Vicesa, that signed probably like 3 guys to the Braves before me. Signing with the Braves was a little known in Curacao already. Obviously, you get on TV, but it was known because there was a local scout there, and he signed probably three great players. One of them actually ended up made it with the major league. His name is Randall Simon. He made it. He made it with. Well, obviously he probably played in Durham too, but he made it with Atlanta. We had a lot of people from Atlanta. I mean, from Curacao that made it. With the Braves, kind of to the minor league and made it to the major league. So known for the Braves is we have a lot of fans down there. We have it's so many fans.
I mean, did you grow up a Braves fan?
No, I was not a Braves fan growing up. I was a big Oakland A's fan.
How did that happen?
They won all the championships.
Oh, okay.
They had a great lineup. And they had a white shoe, so that would got my eyes very well. So I was a big fan of Oakland A's. One of my uncles that came from Holland, he came for Carnival to Curacao, and I told him, he asked me, what you want me to bring you? So he bring me an Oakland A's hat. So I wear that hat everywhere where I go. So I was a big Oakland A's fan. So obviously that changed later on when I would start turning into that age that opportunities coming up to be a professional. So I turned into Atlanta Braves.
All right. So a couple of years later, league coming out of spring training in 1996, you're about to break with the Durham Bulls. Bull Durham had just come out about 8 years earlier, in 1988. Did you watch the movie? What memories do you have about the movie, or did you not?
I did not watch the movie, and I started. I saw bits and pieces. I saw clips of them. I saw the funniest parts of the whole movie. Obviously it was based on a true story, but we experienced all those stuff. We did experience all that, from the funniest part to the sad part to the good parts. We experienced through those things, and I'm sure these guys continue to experience these things. So, obviously I did not watch it, but I need to make time to do it because.
So you still haven't seen the movie to this day?
To this day, I have not.
Can we send you a copy?
I'm watching it. I'm watching it in the next week or so. I have to. Obviously I came back and everybody talk about it. I gotta watch it.
So walk us through that 1996 season, because you played here for Durham for about a half year. The team was just loaded with Braves talent. What do you remember about your teammates? What do you remember about that first half year?
Man, I mean, we couldn't lose. I mean, we had a great time. Everybody was performing. From left field to center field to right field, first base, second base, shortstop, catcher. We had a great pitching staff quietly. That a lot of people didn't talk much about it, but we had a great pitching staff, and we could have played defense. We actually had everybody that played left field and right field. They all were center fielders, and so it was tough to get balls out there. So we had a great time, and we were looking forward to to win a championship here. And obviously it didn't happen. A couple guys got called up, and everything kind of gave a different way. But those are parts that I remember of being here.
So I don't want to read between the lines, but you're not disappointed that you didn't win a championship with the Bulls when you were 19 that year, because you 6 months later were playing for a world championship with Atlanta. Was there any dream in spring training leading into your season with the Bulls that you might be playing in the Fall Classic 6 months from now?
Not really, but I told one guy, and I say, how come I was not in the big league camp that year? And I told him, I said, I'll see you guys later. So I think maybe that was one of those things that.
Who was that guy?
Eduardo Perez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you weren't in big league camp that year?
No, I didn't get invited to it. After having a great year and winning minor league player of the year, I didn't get invited. So I think that was a motivator for me.
So that was extra motivation for you to prove to the Braves that you belonged?
Yes.
Interesting. So let's now kind of walk through. You played the first half with Durham, then you get called up right after the All-Star game, right, to Double-A. You're there for a bit. Struggled, you told me, the first couple of weeks?
Yeah.
What was the struggle for you there?
I was just always trying to make sure I belong there and trying to hit anything they throw at the plate. So I would strike out left and right. So, Jeff Cox was our manager there, and he called me in and he said, Andruw, I know you're trying to show people that you belong here, and but you need to be patient. Those guys know that you're trying to do a lot of damage, so take your walk. So I went on a walking streak, and then start feeling good at the plate. Got on a great hitting streak, and after that, got moved up to AAA.
And you went to AAA, and tell me about, I don't know the story about how you were told by Bill Dancy, your manager in Richmond, about telling Andruw Jones as a 19-year-old you're going to the major leagues for the first time. What do you remember about that story?
Well, I mean, we got time for this?
It's a podcast.
All right.
So, do you have the time for
all
this?
right. So, we go to AAA. We go back forward. I fly to Greenville to get my stuff to go back to AAA. Get there. We go on a road trip. We go to Norfolk, and I'm there. I play center field the night before. The next day, come in. Manager come up and say, Andruw, you playing right field today? I say, no, I'm not right fielder. I'm not playing right field. They say, well, Bobby Cox say you playing right field today. So I was like, oh, okay, now I know. So I went to play right field. First ball over my head, I'm pissed off. I'm throwing the ball in. I came back to the dugout. I was like, I told you guys I'm not a center. I'm not a right fielder. Play a couple innings, then they move me back to center field, and the next day they call me. And Jim Love will call me and say, hey, pack your stuff. You go into the big leagues. And then the manager called me and go, hey, are you ready? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm born ready. So that was the time that he called me and tell me, you're getting called up to the major league. And back then, now, you see these guys when they go on a road trip, they're wearing shorts and flip-flops because it's so hot in the minor league. I show up in Philadelphia where Bobby Cox have a stricter rules on, you wearing slacks with a dress shirt, with shoes. I walk in the clubhouse, everybody go like, what the hell is this kid thinking he is? So, I had a little bad rap right there already when I walk into the clubhouse. But after that, guys helped me out. They let me borrow their suit, their pants, and after that, everything was history.
So you didn't own nice shoes, slacks, dress shirt?
I did not.
You quickly bought them?
No, I borrowed them.
You borrowed them?
I borrowed them. And then when I got back to Atlanta, my agent came in. He took me out, and we bought some. I bought like 2 suits that I couldn't wear to the end of the year.
Who did you borrow the clothes from?
I borrowed from Eduardo Perez.
Again?
Yeah, Eduardo Perez. I borrowed from him, and then we obviously were going home, so I was home for a week, so I couldn't, figure out how I'm gonna get all my stuff together. But I think that's all it is.
So the Bulls have an infielder named Junior Caminero on this team, and he is arguably the number 1, if not number 3 prospect in all of minor league baseball. Mm-hmm. He's 20. He made the major leagues last year briefly, up from AA. You were minor league player of the year back-to-back years in 1995 and 1996 as 17, 18-year-old, 18, 19. What was the weight of expectations like on you then, and what might somebody like a Jackson Holliday or a Junior Caminero or a Paul Skeens be dealing with the expectations at such a young age with what fans in the game feel they can bring?
I mean, obviously they have the talent. That's why they rank as a top prospect. It's just the way about going about the business. Abstation is going to be all over the place all the time. People are going to want to see the best of you every day when you get on the field. So I think those things excited already. And when I was in those type of shoes back then, when I was 17, 18, 19. When I come to the field, it was a tryout for me. It was a show that I belong here. It was just not playing a game. It was every game that I played was a show out to what I can do to continue to move on to get to where I wanted to be. So, obviously you're gonna learn from the mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. That's why you're gonna learn from the stuff. But every time when I got on that field, it was a tryout, because when we throw infield, I'm going to show everybody that I can throw. If they hit the ball in the gap, I know I can show people I can go get the ball. So, when it's in a situation, know how to work the situation out. If I need to get over the guy over to third base or hit a sacrifice, drive in the run. So it's a showcase, to be honest with you, for the other team, to the scouts, to your manager, because those get the right report to the bigger club, and then you get a chance to continue to move up. So, the game continued to grow. I mean, I'm proud the way it's going, and you see, all AAA got guys that's 19, 20 years old, 21 years old. Back then, you really don't see no guy 21, 19-year-old
just an A-Rod, in
AAA. So the league is getting young, and I think these kids are getting a lot of more opportunities, and that's what they need. If you get an opportunity, and it's up to them to take advantage of it.
So you'll be on the field later today as the Bulls take BP. If you have the opportunity to chat with Junior Caminero, and if he asks, what advice would you have for me, what would you tell him?
Hey, just go out there and continue to have fun, keep learning. Have big dreams, have big goals, trying to achieve them. I mean, obviously everybody know what kind of player you are, what can you do, but continue to learn and take advantage when they give you the opportunity to move on.
When you think about your career, I want to kind of change tracks a little bit. What are the favorite moments of your career, either on the field, off the field, when you reflect? I know there are so many, but what would be the first couple that pop in your mind?
I don't know. I mean, so many. I mean, I gotta be specific of what it is. I don't know, fielding, hitting.
You excel in everything. Let's go. All right, your 2 or 3 favorite memories offensively.
Offensively,
yes.
probably my first home run.
Okay.
The home runs in the World Series. The year that I hit 51 home runs, I felt very lucky in. So those offensively, for sure.
Okay, this will be more fun. Let's talk defensively, because you won 10 Gold Gloves.
Mm-hmm.
There are only, I think, 4 Major League players who have won 10 Gold Gloves and hit over 400 home runs. You are one of those 4. The other 3 are Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., and Mike Schmidt.
Mm-hmm.
So defensively, I saw a montage of your best defensive catches earlier today. It lasted 33 minutes. So what are your highlight reel catches?
Well, I mean, I took defense very serious. I took a lot of pride on my defense. I should have took more pride off hitting.
I'd say you did okay.
Maybe I would have been a better hitter. But I took a lot of pride off my defense because, you were the only one out there. I think hitting is so hard that I kind of took it for granted a little bit, because I was like, if I didn't do it, the next guy can do it. But as defensively, I was like, I'm the only one there. So I cannot let nothing down. I can let my team down. So I took a lot of pride of it, and it paid off. It paid off, because I wanted to be the best at it. And, the awards pay me off by winning, all those Gold Gloves that I won in a row, and, become a special thing.
Just a couple more topics for you. First off, thanks so much for your time. When you were growing up playing and breaking into big league baseball, I know baseball is a game of comparisons. Who's the comp? Who does he remind you of? The comp of Andruw Jones was Willie Mays.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a chance to not only be compared to Willie Mays, he became almost a mentor of you and somebody who became special to you over the course of your Major League time. And he just passed away recently, about a month ago. Mm-hmm. Can you speak about your relationship with Willie Mays? When I say what did he mean to your career? What was your relationship like?
Well, growing up, you watch games, you hear the name, but you really don't know who they are till you actually obviously see them. You always hear about Hank Aaron, all the achievements that he did, but when you meet him, you know what kind of character they are, what kind of person they are. When I first met Willie Mays, I think I met him in 1998, I think. 98, maybe 98, or I think in 98, in the 90s, late 90s, we were in San Francisco and he was behind the dugout and, he's talking with me and he say, hey, I see you got a great eye of what you see. And I was like, thank you. You just don't know what to say to an icon like that. And, all you say, you're being humble and overwhelmed with the kind of words that he say. So we stay in touch. We talk every time we go to San Francisco. If he's around, we chat to each other. But it's tough to compare to an icon like Willie Mays. It's only going to be one Willie Mays. It's not going to be, two of them. Everybody can go on and say, hey, you remind me of this person. Ain't nobody remind you of nobody. It's just what people saw that he did that you went out there and kind of do, but you're not going to be that person.
When you played, who were you in awe of watching? Who was must watch? Because
Ken Griffey was the much watch for me. I mean, he was like my idol growing up. Young, playing center field. Obviously, he had left-hander, but he was just that person.
When you take a look at some of the teammates that you had over your time with Atlanta and then with Texas and with the White Sox, with the Yankees, it's a Hall of Fame starting lineup of the guys who you were teammates with. Greg Maddux and Ichiro and Mariano Rivera and CC Sabathia there and Nomar and Kershaw. I mean, all these guys were teammates of yours. When you think back, I mean, you have such a huge smile on your face.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking all the names in my head now.
Does it kind of blow your mind that you were in the forefront of that kind of baseball company?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, you play in a great era where you actually were teammate with some of these great baseball players that is Hall of Famers or some of not a Hall of Famer but had great career being very competitive baseball players. So it's awesome to I really didn't think about it till you say it. That's why I had a smile. I'm like, wow, I'm thinking about the names that
I didn't mention Jeter and
all this,
some of the others.
So I'm the names just keep spinning in my head. So it's a gift. It's a gift. It's a honor. It's a privilege. It's anything. Taking advantage of that opportunity they gave you, and it's just great to play with those guys. I mean, I learned so much from all those players. Even that as they learn from me, I learn from them as equals. So it's always good to have great baseball players around to learn. I think the Braves trying to keep all these ex-baseball players that been there for a long time, especially if they're in their Hall of Fame system. Go out there, talk with these kids, have these kids ask you question and talk with them. You come to spring training, you go to spring training, I go to spring training. I work with the outfielders a little bit. I have, they ask me question, I give them answer. I ask them question, they give me answer. So it's good to go and be around these guys to patch the good knowledge and the experience that you went through to them.
Just a couple more quick questions. What do you miss most about not being involved on the field on a day-to-day basis?
The friendship with the guys, the laugh, the stories. I think, the first day of spring training is always the fun part, because everybody get together, you start laughing, you tell how your off season, the stories that you had through and all the stuff. I think that's why I miss most of the game.
I'm going to hit you with one off-the-wall question. I still go back and find it amusing that you, who might be in the Hall of Fame in a year or two, hopefully that's the case, wish you would have been a better hitter, paid more attention to hitting. But certainly, despite the 434 home runs and the 1,300 RBIs he had, was there one pitcher who you just could not hit?
It was a lot of them, to be honest with you. Obviously, because I hit 250-something average. It was a lot of them that I didn't, to be honest with you, everybody asks that question, I have the same answer. It's Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown was very, very tough. I have hits of him, but he was a tough pitcher. I mean, he beat us back-to-back year. we could go more years to the World Series. He took one, took us out in '97 with the Marlins and took us out in '98 with the Padres. So he was a tough sucker.
Sink heavy
He was
ball
just-
'97,
just
right?
a big guy.
But he was
on
just
the-
uncomfortable.
Yeah, just a big guy.
You saw him
on
in
the
the
mound.
lineup card, you faced him, you're like, oh no.
I never say no to nobody because he's got to throw the ball over the plate and I have to swing. So I might get lucky, but he was a tough guy. He was a tough guy to face. You want to get your couple hits the day before because it's going to be a tough 4 at bats against him.
Final question for you here. Your son is now following the same journey as you, and I see his name is tattooed across your fingers on your right hand.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hard being a dad, watching your son and not wanting to coach him along as he proceeds in this journey?
Not at all.
What's the best part?
Not at one bit. You can't go out there and do it for him. He's got to do it himself. All you can do is support him, guide him the right way, and let him go out there and have fun. He's going to make a mistake. You made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. I wasn't perfect, but you want to pass those right knowledge to him so he can go out there and be himself. Obviously, a lot of people are going to say, your dad was a Major League Baseball player, was a great defensive player, blah, 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 this and that, and they think that he's going to do the same thing. It's only going to be one Andruw Jones. It's only be one Willie Mays. It's only going to be one Ken Griffey Jr. He's got a good head on his shoulder, and he know what he want to do.
Can't thank you enough for your time. The fans here in Durham are going to love seeing you here on September 7th. Thank you for being such a great ambassador to Bulls baseball, Major League Baseball, and it's an honor to sit down and chat with you.
No problem. Thank you for having me, guys.
All right, so that is it for the Durham Bulls podcast. You can watch this, subscribe, Apple, Spotify. You can watch this on our YouTube channel, Durham Bulls TV. I'm Patrick Keenis for Walmer Medina and our entire crew, and for Andruw Jones. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to the Durham Bulls podcast.